Hi guys, welcome to tonight's live. I am joined by my wiener dog because that's life, and sometimes you have to get stuff done when your dogs don't want to actually hang out. So welcome, come in, say hello. If you don't know who I am, I'm Chantel. I'm the owner of Knititude, as well as one of the ladies behind Make Her Strong, as well as YWC Girl Gang. So tonight's live is part 2. We have a couple more parts coming up later on, but essentially what we're talking about is the actual steps about how to start your business. So last week we went over a couple things. If you want to, you can go check out my YouTube channel. It's got all of my lives. I know, he's just like playing along. It's going to have all of my lives that I do here on Instagram. So PS, if you're watching on YouTube, you won't see any comments, you won't see anything or reactions or anything like that, but don't worry, I will try and read them out as much as I can. So hello to everyone. Part 2, the 5 steps that you actually need to do to be able to start your business. Last week we talked about a couple things, which was the 6 things to think about before you start your business. If you wanted to check out that video, you're totally welcome to, but I'm going to read what those essentially were. Thank you, Kurt. Things to think of before you start a business. 1, are you ready to invest your time? 2, are you ready to invest money? 3, are you ready to do the unfun tasks, which is like marketing and taxes and accounting? 4, what is your product going to be? 5, who is your target market? So who's your ideal customer? As well as 6, what is your USP? So what is your unique selling point? So today we're going to say that we have figured out, yes, we want to start a business. We're ready to invest time. We're ready to invest money. What are my next steps? So you've already figured out what your product is going to be. You already know who you're going to be selling to. Now what? And trust me, there's no like easy answer to this. I wish that there was, but there's not. There's tons of different paths that you can take as you go onto your entrepreneurship journey. You can go ahead and you can immediately go straight into the legal side. You can choose to do what I did. A lot of businesses out there don't even realize that they're a business till all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, I'm a business, which essentially means that you've made over $2 of profit. And if you think that you want to, if you think that you're trying to figure out, am I a business or not? It's essentially, you are a business if you are actively trying to make money. You're trying to profit. And chances are, if you have a price on your items, you are trying to profit, which means you are a business, so these rules do apply. Okay, so you're like, well shit, now what do I do? So I have 5 steps. And of course, they're not like you can take any of these steps in any way that you want. You can do them in different ways, but this is my advice to you. Again, I am not a legal professional, so I will try and give you tips to be able to help you out. And if you guys do have any questions, please shout them out. I would love to be able to hear them too. So, first things first, and this one always scares the shit out of people, but it's create a business plan. And I know that whenever we say that, we're like, oh shit, that's like really, like I really have to do that. Like, do I really have to do a business plan? Maybe you don't have to write out a business plan, but you better be fucking thinking about the things that are in, that accompany a business before you like dive headfirst into it. Like, am I gonna make money? How am I gonna make money? How am I gonna price my stuff? Who am I up against? Stuff like that. So I like to say a business plan is setting your expectations. That includes 1, description. What are you going to be making? What are you selling? Is it a need? Is it a want? What kind of service is it? 2, research. So who are you going up against? What is your unique selling point? So what makes you different than your competition that will make them want to purchase from you than someone else? And any other research. Like, that is the biggest point. Make sure that you're going into it being like, I have a pretty fairly good idea about what I should be charging and who else is in the whole entire business with you. So research the crap out of it. How will you make your money, and how much are you ready to invest in it for time and money as well? So make sure that you understand that with a business, you have to make money and you have to make a profit. I think a lot of people panic and go, oh, making a profit is dirty. No, you're making a business to make money. So otherwise, don't make a business. Just like save yourself some guff and just don't do it. So make sure that you know, how are you going to make money? How much money do you actually need to make for your business for you to survive? Are you planning to do this full time? Are you planning to do this part time? Are you planning on doing this as just like fun money on the side? Like, because even if you do it as fun money on the side, you still have to pay a bunch of stuff too. How are you going to market your products or services? How are you going to get the word out and say, hey, by the way, I'm here? Because heads up, as a business, you don't just get to be like, hey, by the way, buy my stuff, and like you just like put it out there and people just buy it. Because trust me, they don't. They have to know about you. They have to know why they need to buy from you. They have to know what the fuck they're buying and a bunch of other things. So you need to market it. And how are you going to market it? Is that social media? Is that actual traditional advertising? Are you getting hot, buddy? Sorry, dogs. And what do you actually need financially to get started? That is something that you need to think of. If you are looking at starting a business, you need to think along the lines of, what am I getting myself into that could affect my wallet? Because starting a business may seem like, oh, look, I just like started a business, but it's going to cost you money. So you need to be ready to be able to invest in that. And how much money are you going to need to invest in it? It's as simple as, do you need a website? That's like $400 a year or $300 US a year. Do you need an Etsy? It means that you now have to pay for listings. Do you need a camera to take photos? You need to invest in that. So that's something that you need to think of, and that all is included in your business plan. And I know that business plan sounds scary, but essentially you can do like a coffee shop business plan and just sit down. There are tons of templates out there that will help you, but trust me, it is way easier to think about it first than be like, derp, I don't know, and then like have to figure it out later. Trust me, number 1, business plan. Number 2, come up with a name. And I know this sounds like pretty obvious, but it's actually one of the hardest parts of your whole entire business, because that name is going to essentially be you. You're putting that out into the world. People always say don't put your actual name, but I always have to laugh because you think of like Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's Kentucky, that's a Kentucky family, I think. Oh God, am I coming up with terrible names? But like, you get the idea. There are people that have done it. I always suggest probably don't say like Chantel's Knits or like whichever, because that can be lost. I didn't come up with my name. My friend who actually works in the advertising department, he came up with my name. So it was pretty cool. But think along the lines of like what your name is going to be. Tim Hortons, thank you, Laura. Tim Hortons, it's a huge brand here in Canada. It's probably, people know it in the States as well, and that is a person. Dunkin' Donuts is after like Dunkin', like it's a name. So it doesn't mean that you don't have to, but do make note that it may be a little bit challenging for you, because you may have to either break out of the mold of that being yourself and making your company either bigger or smaller, depending on what you want. Good example, Laura. Ugh. Here, eat your bear, stupid. So, once you have come up with a name, make sure that you're doing a couple things. And P.S., if you have been debating on changing your name, please put some comments up. I love hearing what you guys are thinking as well. So when you're thinking up a name, 1, make sure that it's unique, something that it will be catchable. 2, make sure that no one has it, because it would really suck if someone went bitches with sticks or something for knitting wise, and then all of a sudden you found out that someone else had the exact same name that lived in a completely different area, and all you have to do is that you're now going to realize that there are other people that you're going to be competing against just because of a name. If you think of something that is Googleable, searchable on Google, make sure that no one else is coming up for that name, because you don't want anyone else popping up when people could be searching for you. Say that you're a photographer and you have come up with like the name Sparkles, I don't know what it is, and someone else comes up with Sparkles. When I type in and it just happens that you both do photography, I want to be looking for you and not going, who is that next person? So when you're thinking of your name, make sure that no one else has it. And another reason why this is really important, You can definitely check, just register my new name this month. Perfect, that's actually what I'm going to talk about. Look into trademarking your name. Trademarking is expensive, but I think it varies. But essentially what it means is that you now own that name. Take a look, though, when you're actually trademarking, if it's just in the city that you live in the state that you live in the country that you live in, etc. Because it would suck if someone goes, hey, by the way, I've trademarked that name that is your company, get everything off of your name. I want you to change your Instagram account, I want you to change everything, you now cannot use that name. That would really suck. So make sure that you're taking a look into it and going, okay, do I want that as my business name? Is there someone else who has that name? Do I have to trademark that name to make sure that no one else has it? Essentially, don't step on other people's toes and be prepped for people to try and step on your toes, which leads to my next point. But yeah, make sure that it's unique, make sure that you look into trademarking, and make sure that you look into domain names. So that's like a website, because it would suck if you got all of your branding, you picked out your name, you figured it out, and then all of a sudden you can't get a website underneath there. The main thing when it comes to, which comes to my next point, is you want to make sure that every single thing that you can get accessible on the internet is the exact same. Because people are fucking dumb. People are stupid, and they do not realize that if you say Knititude with my Instagram name, and all of a sudden Knititude EE, like EE with 2 E's at the end, is now my website, people are not going to click into that. You have to think of the dumbest common denominator, that there are going to be people out there that just like don't know what they're doing. So you've got 1, create a business plan. 2, come up with a name, make sure that it's unique. 3, carve out your portion on the internet. And that means get every single social media account underneath that name, whether you're going to use it or not. You don't want to have it go down the line being like, oh, I'm not using Twitter. Twitter's really dumb. I'm not going to get it. And then all of a sudden, 3 years down the road, you're like, no, I really needed to get Twitter. And then all of a sudden, someone else is taking that name. And then you either have to pay for them to, you have to like be like, hey, by the way, can I please have that name? Or 2, you have to pay for it, because people don't want to give that shit up easily. So make sure that you have the domain name. And by domain name, I mean go to GoDaddy and find that name and pay for it ASAP. I don't care if, like, GoDaddy always says, do you want this in CA or .com or .org or whatever it is? Get them all. Because you never want to come into contact where all of a sudden you don't have it and you get screwed. Someone else has my domain name and it sucks because it's just blank. They're not even using it. And that's just it. So you want to make sure that as soon as you find out that that's something that you are ready to deal with. Because it does suck, because you could be using that and people could easily go, oh, Story Knits on Instagram, storyknits.com must be her website, but it won't be. You could essentially see if you could get GoDaddy or a domain like holder to be able to essentially pay for it, but you may be paying through the nose. Instead of $7.99, it could be like, it could value that name as like $2,000. You never know. So make sure that you get all of the social media handles. Do it all. Even if you're not going to use it right away, get all the social media handles, because trust me, it's way easier. Which also means that you probably have to have a pretty unique name. I talked to them about it, and it's going to be expensive to get it from them. Yeah, exactly, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Dude, why is your tail wet? Sorry. It's a pain in the ass. So make sure you carve out your section of the internet. From there, 4, price accordingly. We only have 5 steps, PS, so we're almost there. 4, price accordingly. So you've done your business plan, you've gotten your name, you've gotten and when I say all of the social media platforms, I mean like the domain name. If you need an Etsy shop, get the Etsy shop name. If you need a Twitter, a Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, make a Facebook group, make a Facebook page, like the whole frickin' shebang. Do it all. And then from there, price accordingly. So you've already done your business plan. You roughly know how much money you need to make. Now is the hard part. You get to find out how much you are worth. Do not undervalue yourself. Please don't undervalue yourself. I would just like to say that most businesses fail in the first for like 1 to 2 years, otherwise they take a loss. The reason for this is because most of the time is because they are not charging accordingly. Again, you are in a business. You want to make a profit, which means that you have to charge a profit. It sounds bonkers, I know. God forbid you made a profit. So make sure that you are charging accordingly. Make sure that you price your stuff, not for what you think people are going to. I always say that you're going to price yourself and then find your target market, because there's no point in trying to sell a Burberry scarf to a person who wants to go to Walmart. There's no point. And if you want to have Walmart prices for a Burberry scarf, expect to make no fucking money and to tank. Price accordingly. Make sure that you are making, like, your price of your items is what either makes or breaks your business. So don't take it lightly. Don't like pull a number out of a hat. Be like, that sounds good. Don't go check other people's stuff and be like, that's a good number, because you know what? Maybe they're undercharging for themselves. So make sure that you are charging correctly. Otherwise, your business is either going to sink or swim. Price accordingly. The only thing I couldn't get was Twitter, and it was a ghost account. I can't find it, but it's not available. No! If you email Twitter about ghost accounts, they will often release it after a period of time. Oh, cool. What if you feel or know you can't sell what you make at the price you want because of your area? I've gone to craft shows and have sold very little because people say they can make it for cheaper. Then you start going on to online and you get out of that. As soon as because that's one of the things that people go, oh, well, my town is, or the town or the place that I live in will not purchase something for like that. Are you enjoying that? That squeaky? Can you guys hear that? If you can hear it, throw up some hearts. If that's the case, then you need to find different means of being able to sell, which means that you may be having to ship things a lot more often because you need to. Sorry, if you can see me throw up some hearts. My sister loves to call during my lives because God forbid anything else happened. That's super duper annoying. And now I can't see myself at all. If you can still see me, please throw up some hearts. So I would definitely say if you're not sure about the price that you're not sure that your price is going to fit your people in your area, start going outside of your area. Thank you. Well, I'm glad that I'm still around. I feel like I need to tell my siblings and my family to never call me between 5:30 and 6:30 on Thursdays, because now I can't see what I look like and it's really freaking me out. Okay. So, price accordingly. From there, the last one, are you ready for it? It's jump. Do it. There's so many people out there that just like bogged down being like, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to get a business license. I don't know if I'm supposed to get an LLC or a sole proprietorship or blah, blah, blah. Trust me, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but just jump. Just do it. Just figure it out, because honestly, it is... like Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, because it's true. If you don't take the time to actually leap and try and do it, you're never going to actually do it. You have to just go for it, because trust me, if you don't, you're going to regret it. And the reason why I'm saying that don't go into the whole entire idea of being like, okay, well, I don't know if I feel like I need to have every single duck in the row. My issue is that, one, running a small business is extremely difficult. You have so many different things that you have to do, and maybe you hate it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I know countless people that have been like, I started my first business, and then I realized, you know what, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do that. It wasn't my jam. I'm glad that I didn't go through the whole entire hoopla to only realize I fucking hated that. Like, just... sometimes it is just not worth it. So jump. Just do it. And if you have jumped, please throw up some hearts. I would love to be able to hear what your guys' stories are, because that is the biggest one to me. I think so many people get really bogged down and really worry and really fret about the idea of, oh God, I just don't know if I'm ready to do this. I just don't know if I'm ready. Well, you won't know if you're ready until you actually do it. So try, because you never know what could actually happen. You never know if you either hate it or if you really, really enjoy it. So also, whenever people are asking about the legal stuff, you'll notice that I didn't talk about any legal stuff in here, just mainly because it varies so drastically from account to account. Are you getting too hot? It varies so drastically from business to business. You could be like a knitter and crocheter, but you could be in the States and it's completely different. You could be like you might want to sell like skincare, which is great, but I have no legal advice for you. So I'm not an actual professional when it comes to that. So definitely go and seek professional advice. One of my friends jumped and is killing the stationery game. See, that's what I mean. There's people out there that if you just take the leap and just do it, amazing things can happen. You just have to like take the actual leap. So I'm going to quickly go over those one more time. I'm going to hopefully have this go up on YouTube to be able to showcase a little bit, well, hopefully go on YouTube. Last time it glitched on me. Oh, hi Jessica. Last time it glitched on me, so I was lucky enough to have Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. She was able to pick it up for me, but I'm gonna just quickly go over stuff. If you have questions, please shoot them out. I would love to know, because I started Knititude just randomly. I ended up making a bunch of scarves, and then all of a sudden I had a couple girlfriends be like, that is super cute. Can you make that for me? And I was like, for sure, I totally can, but I think I have to like charge you a bit. And then all of a sudden I had multiple orders, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, like I need a name. And oh shit, I need an Etsy. Oh shit, I need an Instagram. Oh shit, I need this. Trust me, it's going to go with the flow, but if you do have questions, please shoot them out. So again, my 5 steps for you to be able to start your business is 1, do a business plan. I don't even care if that's on like the back side of a napkin. Just make sure that you're thinking about your business. The points that I had in here was make sure that you have a description. Make sure you do your research. So who are you competing against and what is your unique selling point? And by description, I'm saying, what are you selling? What is your service? Is it a want? Is it a need? What is it? How are you going to make money? How much are you going to need to invest in your actual company to be able to make money? How will you market your stuff? Are you going to be using social media? Are you going to be reaching out to collaborators? How are you going to do that? What do you actually need financially to be able to start your company? What is it? And then from there, 2, come up with a name, make sure that it's unique, that other people don't have it, and then grab it on every single social media and everything in the interwebs. You can look into trademarking for your own name. I highly suggest it. From there, 3, carve out your portion of the internet, whether that is an Etsy shop or a website. Get your domain, get your social media handles, just do it all. 4, price accordingly, because that is going to either make or break you actually making a profitable business or not. If you don't price well, you fucked yourself. And then 5, jump. Don't worry about all the scary stuff. Just try it out. See if you even like it, because who knows, maybe 2 months down the road, maybe 6 months down the road, you're like, no, this is not for me. I don't want to do this. This is so much more work that I was not expecting, and you don't want to. Should I pay the $200 to get storyknits.com? I bought shopstoryknits.com instead, but I don't know if I like that. I think that if you're planning to make this like a thing, pay the $200. For me, $200 is like no issue. Like I'd be like, yeah, I would rather have people find it. Oh, and then I did have one last final point. I wrote this in caps and it says PPS. Take fucking care of your finances, holy balls.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh. Okay, we're going.
Peedled. Oh my god. I'll clean that up after. I'm almost done. Welcome to my life. please, please, please take care of your finances. If that is one thing that I wish that I would have known the first go round, is track all my stuff. And I would like to say that I am pretty freaking good. I ended up going through, I went through and I filed late for my taxes, and I am so thankful that I took such meticulous notes. And I'm saying every single time that I made a sale, it went into an Excel spreadsheet. Every single time that I bought something, it went into an Excel spreadsheet. Every single time that I had to invoice someone, that went into a spreadsheet. Put a spreadsheet into everything. Trust me, you need to track your finances to know if you are, one, making money or not. It's so weird. So many crafters are like, I don't know if I'm making money. I'm like, what do you mean? How do you not know if you're making money? You need to know if you're making money or not. How does that work? You're either making money or you're not making money. And how can you not know that? Trust me, do your finances, because you have to do your taxes. P.S. I know, as I just said that I filed late, I did file late, and I paid the penalty for it, like $485 for doing it late, which kills me, because that was so dumb. But make sure that you're tracking your finances, because that's going to tell you if this is profitable for you or if it's not. Yeah, finances. I teach private music lessons and forgot to take taxes out. Now I owe a bunch. Yes, exactly. Make sure that you are keeping track of those. If you do need to get an HST number, get an HST number. If you end up having to get a business license, take a look into it, because you can write that off. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know what they are. Again, this will be up on YouTube if I can get it to work. Last time it glitched on me, so hopefully that's not the case this time go round. But that's my question for you. Are you guys brand new? Like, are you just getting into it and not exactly sure? If you have been doing this business for a while, can you tell me how many years you've been doing it for? If you have any advice as any makers who have already done this for a while, let me know what they are, because I would love to read them out loud. Because owning a business is not enjoyable. Sorry. Oh, a bag. I do not have a bag. Sorry. Todd's just like outside, taking the dog, and I can see him out the window. I started in 2014, but doing this seriously since 2016. Oh, congrats. Are we supposed to comment on here or on the YouTube? Now, please comment now, because I would love to see it. I won't be able to see it on the YouTube because the comments actually don't show up on YouTube. But if you want to comment on YouTube too, that would be totally cool. I just got a YouTube account 2 weeks ago, so it's been pretty intense. It's been really cool. But yeah. If not, I will boogie off of here. It's always like that last moment. People keep telling me I should start selling my knits, but I'm worried it would take the enjoyment and add out. I'm worried that it would take the enjoyment out and add stress to knitting. If you are worried about that, I wouldn't even worry about selling. I think a lot of people have this. Oh, Todd is going, yeah, that is a good point. I'm watching him. If you feel like it would be something that you'd be stressed out about and that you don't want to do, don't do it. Because I think that there's so many crafters out there that as soon as we make something, our friends are like really supportive and they say, oh my God, you should sell that. You should totally do that. But I think that a lot of our friends don't realize how much actual work is involved in starting a business. And you don't have to sell stuff, because P.S. as soon as you sell something, I was talking to one of my girlfriends, Janine, who does taxes. She's a CRA. I think it's a CRA, CPA. And my question was, when does the government qualify you as a business? And she's like, let's just say that the government starts carrying on your tax forms as soon as you round up over $2. So if you make... I make for my soul and not for your money. That's what Todd says. Yeah, if you don't want to knit for a business, don't knit for a business. Don't make a business, because there's so many things that are outside of there, like marketing, going on social media, talking to clients and talking to customers. That alone is like that is brain numbing. Like, that is brain numbing. And that's something that is just like an easy, like, oh, you just have to talk to customers. Yeah, you have to talk to customers, and that is stressful. I've been crafting for literally my entire life. Mom did woods crafts and Dad's did carpenter. And my sister and I just kind of jumped into craft shows again after college. I'm not exactly sure. And I'm not exactly sure I've been selling as a biz since 2009. Oh, sorry, that was a different comment. I just kind of jumped into the craft shows again after college, and I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I know, because you don't have to sell. Like, that's the other thing, is that one of my girlfriends, Nicole from Wolffield Studio, like, people are like, would you sell me those socks? And she's like, absolutely fucking not. I would never sell socks. I would never sell knitwear. She owns a jewelry company, and she was like, oh my god, trying to, like, make enough stuff, she's like, that is pointless. I don't want to do this. I've been selling as a business since 2009. Best thing I've ever done. Exactly. Oh, sorry, I saw the rest of your comment. And I just kind of jumped into craft shows again after college, and I'm not exactly sure we are making a bunch of money, but at least we are enjoying it. I feel like we need to take these tips more seriously and spend more time focused on our business. Yes, because I ended up doing a live a little while ago where it was saying, is your business actually profitable? And it was insane, because I just took, for 1 year, I just took like the website fees, doing social media for 5 hours a week at $10 an hour, and we added up some of the costs, and it ended up coming over $3,000. And if you weren't making $3,000 in just your profit margin, you were essentially giving that away. So it's like, at what point do you just... you're like, no, this isn't worth it. So you do need to take a look at your finances, because that's either going to help you grow or help you just stop. It's so much work. I was selling, but I am taking a break, and honestly, I don't want to sell again. It's so much fun making stuff for myself. Oh yeah, girl, then just like make for yourself. Thank you. I already knit every day for multiple hours, and I love it, but I don't think I would enjoy the business side. Your help has reassured me on my decision of not starting a business. Oh, girl, and I love your stuff. Your, like, tension is on point. You do so much good work, but I totally agree that there's a certain person that will do really good in business, and then there's a certain type of person that just, like, it doesn't excel with. So, and also note that there is a very large portion of having a business that is sales. Like, you have to be a salesperson. You don't have a salesperson, you don't have a sales team to do that for you. Sorry, you can only put so many characters into comments, apparently. It's cutting my comments out. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. This is like an enjoyable live. I know. This is America is such a good song. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. So hopefully this will go up to YouTube. If you do have any questions, please send me a message. I would love to be able to help you guys out. Those are my 5 tips to be able to essentially start your business, or at least get you on the track to be able to do so. But either way, thank you guys so much for joining in live. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. And again, we're going to be joining you next Thursday, kind of going a little bit more into the topic of to find your target market. So to find your person that will purchase your stuff. This is one of my favorite ones, because we get to, like, all pull out like a storyboard essentially. So we're going to be talking next week all about finding your target market. Either way, thank you guys so much. We will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining live. Okay, bye.